For my last article to review, I found an article called Operating Room Staffing and Scheduling, and it's a review of a problem identified by many OR managers assessing the needs of surgery schedules and how many baseline staff to have. This article actually hit really close to home with my project since we are reviewing opportunities for self scheduling for on call as well as PTO calendars, and hopefully eventually the project will grow more into coinciding with an overall staffing. But we kept it limited just to ensure that we had time to accurately implement a smaller portion and see the success of that before moving on. It was very consistent with a lot of the things that we currently experience at my operating room, as far as a lot of the staffing coincides with block times for surgeons, and some of those are open times where emergency cases can add on. And then there's individual surgeons that are able to schedule cases within their 8-hour block, and how that all trickles down into the staffing for the afternoons and overnights to coincide with trauma requirements. The article did cover that most of the time it's estimated that $15 to $20 per minute of cost for a fully staffed OR does impact staffing salaries, as well as operation cost for the facility overall. So it's very important for staff to be well balanced. We are currently experiencing a little bit of a lull with our staffing and OR times because ramp up of what we like to call deductible season, the OR. Everybody that's been holding off for the year is trying to get their surgeries in, but we meet this weird little dip of low productivity time. And so we're having to flex and send staff home and do education on, hey, today it's your turn to go home because I can't really be staffed for 10 ORs, but I only have 2 scheduled. And so trying to find opportunities of how to rotate that fairly and evenly without losing the efficiency of staffing and ensuring coverage is really important. And so this article talks about looking at baseline staffing and setting your ratios appropriately, and also factoring in uncertainty through ensuring that maybe you have a team member on call or you are flexing off, and looking at opportunities as far as that goes. They also look at things based off of how long surgeon cases are, looking at the cost of the OR. And so it was very informative to look at some of the formulas that they actually looked to try to find an ideal ratio. I know our facility also looks at optimization steps. And so we do have reports that look at flip rooms, which means the same surgeon is bouncing back and forth between 2 rooms, and how efficient is that for staffing. We did find that for our facility, we needed to have the surgeon at least have 4 cases that were under an hour and a half a piece to make that time the most efficient for flipping. We do have other surgeons that request flip time just because they are quick cases, and so they like to make sure that things are moving along smoothly for turnover times. The system standard for our facility is about 20 minutes in between cases, so it's really not a lot of time when you look at the amount of trays and sets that we have to open up in the OR. But it's also interesting to look at cost of how that saves you money by having teams moving efficiently throughout the day and having more case volume come through the OR. So it is a very fine line and dynamic dance as far as optimization for OR. But overall, I found the article very informative and helpful, and I hope you all enjoy it. I thought it coincided well with the project for looking at future growth for my practicum. But thank you guys.